Thank you for joining me on another camping adventure. I am so excited because this is my one and only camp trip that I've been able to do this year besides the big trip out to Oklahoma. Life is life and is full of all sorts of things, and it's kept me away from the forests for the last few months. And that's okay. The Sasquatch connections are consistent and constant, and it doesn't really matter if I'm in the woods or not for that to occur. But it is always nice to get back into nature, man. It's been a ride for these last few months, and there's been a lot that's gone on, and it'll be nice to just kind of take a break and meditate on how beautiful this life is. And part of that is going to be dedicated to thinking about all the things that have happened in the last few months. And what's been really fun is that A Flash of Beauty, Paranormal Bigfoot, made its way to YouTube for free. And
welcome to Washington.
Oh, I'm in Washington. Yay! Only got a few hours to go. But yeah, A Flash of Beauty, Paranormal Bigfoot, made its way to YouTube and has been a fantastic success. And it's just been so great to see the growth of it and to see this conversation continue and do so in such good ways about the Sasquatch people, about this experience that we're having called life, and all the magic and beauty and love and good stuff that's here too, right? Like it's not all just a big shit show, although that's part of it as well. But there's so much beauty, there's so much goodness, and yeah, so that was released, and then just recently, maybe a few weeks ago, the extended interview that I did for the film was released on YouTube as well. So if you go to my playlist, you can find it there, along with a new interview that I did with Arla Williams and Michael Harrell. And so check that out. It was fantastic. It was such good talk. I'm ready for the next one. And Arla shared an amazing video that she took on her land of a connection to star people and a message that they had for us in the medium of light. So check that out. It's pretty interesting. So all of those things have happened, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to connect with everybody who's been reaching out and sharing their support through the comments on the videos, and it's just great. And if you've found yourself to my channel because of those, welcome. Thank you for joining. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun, a lot of good stuff on this trip. There's just an incredibly good group of people that get to come together and just enjoy each other, enjoy each other's company, enjoy each other's stories, and this ability that we have to encourage each other on our journeys. It's so precious. It's so good. So it is a beautiful day. I think we're gonna have like pretty much perfect weather for camp, and I'm pretty sure that the Sasquatch are just as excited as we are, right? Because they always are, and they show that in the greatest of ways. So I will keep you up to date on all the adventures to come. And thank you again for joining along for the adventures. It's really appreciated. I'll see you on the flip side. Hello. I've made it to camp. It's absolutely beautiful. There I'm at. There I'm at. There I am at. Everything's set up and I'm excited. I'm gonna go join the group here real quick. I wanted to show you a little bit of this area. I've never camped over in this area, and I'm really excited to. In one of my past videos, I did a walk through this area with Sandy, and we found some pretty cool structures. And there was also like an elk skull that was also amongst the structures. It's really, really beautiful back there. I mean, there's not anything in this area that's in the lack department when it comes to beauty, but it's pretty special over there. And then I wanted to show you this. Right down here in this bend on the road, in the extended interview and in A Flash of Beauty, Paranormal Bigfoot, and in those two I talk about when I saw an orb come out of the trees and then approach me and then back off and continue on its path, and this is where it happened. Give you a good visual of that break right there. So I'm really excited. I'm gonna be here for 7 days, and that's a pretty long time. But it is also my only camp out this year. So, we will definitely be exploring back in there. I don't know if that's natural or not, but it did catch my attention right now. It's broken at the base right there at like a 90-degree almost angle and going across. So we'll have to go look at that later. Yeah. It's gonna be a good time. Look at these trees. I love them. A crow came through earlier and flew right over my head, and I said, "Hello, nice to see you." And he let off a series of caws that got different with each one, and he did like 4, and at the end it sounded like he was laughing. So that was fun. All right, I'm gonna go play in the woods, and I will check back in soon. So I've come back up to my camp, which is right here. I wanted to take a closer look at this, because I just don't know. But I'm gonna find out. Is that natural? see anything that's like on top of it to have made it fall. Interesting, eh? It's a mystery. Look at this. Anybody know what those are? I don't. Wait, it's an LBM. What's this? I can pick that up and take it out. We got a few campers in already, with many more to come. There's already been some activity for some of the other campers, which is pretty awesome. And very specific gifts that have been given. Look how pretty. Yeah, this area is super cool. I'm gonna go get my headlamp so I'm ready for when the light goes out, and then it gets real dark. And a little more difficult to run around and play in the forest if you don't have your headlamp, which you always keep pointed at the ground so you don't disturb your fellow campers or the forest people. Cool. See you in a bit.
Good morning. It is 7 o'clock. And I woke up. And I don't know if I'll go back to sleep. I don't know. I don't know if I can go back to sleep. It would be nice because, sleep's good for you and everything. Speaking of that, last night was really good sleep. It was uninterrupted. It's really quiet over here, pretty far from the creek, so it's nice and quiet, but there wasn't any activity last night. And that's kind of typical for like the first night when we get to camp. And everybody usually gets like the best sleep on that first night. And that was the case tonight or last night. I got really, really good sleep. I feel very rested. It's 7 a.m. I don't know if I want to necessarily be up at 7 a.m. on my day off in vacation mode, but that's what it is. And it's all good. Last night around the campfire, it was me and 5 other people. And there's a lot of activity in the sky. There's a lot of UFO activity and flyovers and flashes and multiple witnesses, and that was really cool. And the fire pit that we have for the group is down by the creek. And so as we were standing at the edge of it and facing the creek and sky watching and whatnot, there was also some very specific splashing happening in the creek. And it's dark, you can't see, but you can hear. And there was definitely something or someone who was splashing about, and like either with the foot or the hand or something, like slapping down on the water and making the watery kerplunk sounds, poplunk, like that. And it was pretty cool. I think some other people saw some red lights and some white lights on the other side of the creek. And there was also some gifts left for a couple of different people. And they're so specific. They're so specific to the individual. So last night was great. And everything's set up, and I'm enjoying this bed so much. I'm gonna take it easy. I'm definitely sore from yesterday and packing and unpacking and traveling and all of that. So I'm gonna continue recharging. And we shall see what the day brings. We got a lot more campers coming in today. So, yeah. Alrighty. I'll see you soon. I am up and at 'em, getting ready for the day. I brought my chair out here and started making my coffee and was sitting here enjoying the morning. And the whole time there's been like stick breaks and the sound of walking and activity over in here, and also back up here. This goes up. And it first started over in this area when I had my back to the area working on getting the water heated up, and I started hearing it like right behind me, just inside the tree line. And I didn't see anything, but definitely sounded like walking around. Is it an elk? I don't know. I haven't seen one. It didn't sound, like multiple or anything. I don't know if they run around solo or not. But it started here, and very quickly there were noises up here. Same kind. So I just wanted to document that because it was pretty cool.
Boy, I mean, this is this year's breaks.
Yeah.
Oh man, they must have found some campers who were
Here. This is
cool.
where this came from. That's a serious break, pretty tall.
That is way up there. Okay, this is weird. I don't understand what's going on with this. We've got a tree here that's kind of leaned over, and we got like this little.
Oh boy.
So I think that must be the top of this. So this like broke in half, and that part fell back on it, and this came this way, and then the top part snapped back and went that way. I think is what that is. Yeah, and then this is pushed into it. You can see how this is all the way up here. Okay, no, that doesn't work. Okay, because this is the base of that tree. Do you see a stump there? Because look, it gets taller at this end,
Oh yeah.
or smaller at this end.
Yeah.
So then we got this strip there. Look at that. See that?
Yep.
Struggling to interpret what happened here. We got. Okay, so this is the bigger part of this. It's on top. So that's got to be two different trees then. If that's the... I don't understand what's happening here.
Well, Barb, so the top section, right?
The top section is under the bottom section.
Right. And which, to Mel's point about violence, I mean, imagine if they've broken it and they're starting to throw the parts around.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can see the top section is underneath this bent tree. Here's the bottom section above the bent tree on top of the top section. How does that happen? I mean, is there a stump over there? Can you see where it came out of the ground? And what's this? Where did this come from? This is like projectile splintering here.
It's not, and it's like, is it different wood?
I can't tell. It's peeled.
It's peeled?
No bark. It's peeled. It's not cedar. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's not part of this. Because this all still has bark on it. This is like peeled from one end to the other.
Would this break, does this break correlate with with that side? The way that this is broken?
Both of the ends here are smaller at this end. So the tops are here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, so maybe this is two separate trees. Because this end there's on both of them is smaller.
Okay, yeah. Then that wouldn't, I was thinking that maybe this was broken from there, but that would mean that if you stuck those two pieces together, they would get smaller at both ends, and that's
Yeah.
not how trees go.
Right. So I don't know where they came from, and I don't know.
Well, here's a broken part. I mean, we've got a break right above.
Yeah.
That
so
could be.
That could have been the upper one. Well, this is smaller than that. I'm just confused. It looks like it's been manipulated. It
Right.
looked like it didn't fall naturally like this. And I don't see a place where there's a stump. So maybe this here. But it's aiming the other direction.
Right.
Oh yeah, these are old and mossed over. This isn't it.
I find it interesting too that there's kind of, and it does seem like these trees are growing in this direction, but just how this one really helped it to turn into like a domed or arched situation over here. Here's a branch on top of this one. Look at this. And look at these. These are like all parallel to each other.
Oh yeah.
And then there's this
Like
branch
there's a
right
trail
here.
that goes between them here.
You see this one up here?
Laying on top.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so there's a big dangler from this tree, which is alive but hanging, and then there's this one that's dead. So the top of that may have been some of this. It's not that big up there. And then look at this one. It's bowed back over.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh
live
boy.
one.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff goes on in here.
This is where I heard all the walking this morning.
Wow.
Tell me again, what did that sound like? How many?
It was heavy footfall. It was sticks breaking. It was mostly over in this direction when I first came out.
Okay.
And I had my back towards this area and I was hearing it. And then I went and I sat in my chair and then I started hearing it to the right. Bless you.
So
Bless you twice.
just sun up? What time?
7:30, 7:45.
So I got up at 7:20, just awake suddenly, you know.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, lots of walking around and then also a very quick time in between hearing what was happening over here to hearing stuff over here. It was like kind of an instantaneous over here and then
Right.
over there.
There was probably more than one.
Right.
Cool.
But they were definitely like okay with making noise.
Yeah, and you know what I heard over here earlier? Down just through here another 150 feet. I heard like a big snap, and it wasn't far from the road. And I looked, I didn't see anything, and that was followed by a couple more stick breaks. And then like 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes later, there were more stick breaks. So they weren't hiding that either. They were blatantly snapping sticks and saying we're here,
Yeah.
or something was. And you know, elk don't hide.
I never saw any elk and I definitely, kept that in my mind as a potential, but I never saw any.
Well, you know, there's really no fresh elk sign around here.
Yeah.
Look, he's dead too.
Oh.
Look.
Slug buddy. Interesting.
Well, maybe he's alive, but he's not. I wonder if they got like radiated or something. Because this is our second non-functioning slug this morning that's not damaged.
Huh.
I mean, normally when they get cold, they just go into their little underground hole somewhere. And they don't just like are out in the open and suddenly, oh, I'm dying.
Right. Interesting.
We should have them check for radiation.
Beautiful fun.
So when Lee was here, she was right.
Good morning. It's 7:24. And I think it's Wednesday. And there was just a really big wood knock right outside. Something just made a very large noise. We got rain last night, so it is rainy. But there's a lot of noises out there. And it's interesting because yesterday there was more activity during the morning when I was outside, and I heard a lot of walking around. So now it's about that same time again now, and there was a really big stick break. So that's cool. I don't think the rain is gonna be here the whole day, but it was also only supposed to be a 35% chance of rain for just a little bit, but it rained like probably all night long once it started, which was probably like around midnight or so. Anyways, it's gonna be a good day. There's just a really big wood knock. And that was great. Thank you for the wood knock. I'll see you later. All right, day 2, up and at 'em. I put my rain fly on. Now that there's been a break in the rain, I didn't have it on last night. Luckily, I don't necessarily need a rain fly, but it does help for sure. And I got a little moisture happening inside the tent, but it's definitely not bad. But anyways, yeah, I was laying there. Okay, so let me back up. Last night, I got over here and settled and turned the lights off after I read a little bit, and I heard like movement around the truck, kind of like that far off movement. I think maybe I've got my cooler in the back of the truck, and I think I heard that kind of opening and closing. They were around for sure, but I did not get any hand swipes or energetic work or anything like up near the tent or up near me. It was a lot of subtle stuff. Subtle. There ain't nothing about this that's subtle. Even if you call something subtle, like once you start peeling back the onion layers, it ain't subtle. So, but well, it was off over by the truck where the noise is. Then this morning, I was laying there, and I had looked at the clock. I think it's like 7 something again, and the rain had woke me up. And I'm laying there, I'm thinking about my next moves, and in my mind, in my thoughts, I was like, I'm gonna go back to sleep. And as soon as I decided to do that, there was a very, very loud stick break, wood knock, wood on wood sound, which also could be me being made with the mouth. That kind of noise happened like right in here. Right in here. Right when I was thinking about staying asleep. And that's happened to me before. In a different way. On the very first trip here in 2018, it was the last day. I had stayed up the whole night before because I wanted to get in, you know, as much as I could. And when I woke up, I was super tired. I woke up, it was early, and I was thinking to myself, you know, I know Barb wants us up by the tent or by the fire, and we gotta tell our stories, and then it's time to clean up camp and pack up, and I was laying there. I was like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm just gonna go back to sleep. And as soon as I closed my eyes, and I was on an air mattress on the floor. As soon as I closed my eyes, boom, someone from outside the tent kicked the air mattress right where my head was. Not in an aggressive way or anything like that, but it popped my head up as if to say, no, get up. It's time to get up. I got up. Just like I did today. I got up. So, the rain has stopped, and let's just say it's gonna be like that for the rest of the day. That would be nice. I'm gonna head over to camp and see what kind of fun shenanigans happened for folks last night. It's been so good. It's been a good camp. And gosh, it's only Wednesday. We still got a good amount to go. So, we'll see you soon. Hello. Today's it's still day 2, and we just got done with lunch. We had some barbecue. It's raining right now, off and on, but it's not too bad. And I just came back up to the tent to put away some things and do some stuff around here. And I'm inside now. I'm inside the tent. And when I got in here, I heard what sounded like a hand swipe on the back of the tent. Oh. That might have been another one. I acknowledged the first one, and then I was standing here and I had my gaze kind of this way, so I had the periphery over here, and this is where the hand swipes are coming. And so the second one that happened, like, I saw the aspect of the hand coming down, and then I went outside real quick right after that to look at the area, and I can't see what could be doing that from the natural environment that's just right outside there. So that was pretty cool. And it's funny because I had talked about how last night I'll usually get hand swipes on the tent, but I wasn't conscious for any. But then now I just got some hand swipes on the tent. So yeah, I'm gonna just sit here and enjoy, open these windows and stay dry while keep my gaze outside. All right. Anybody want to swipe again? Okay. See you soon. Okay. The rain has passed, so I'm outside of the tent, and I wanted to take you around the back where the hand swipes were. So here, this is the door side. Okay, door entrance. Coming inside here, here's the side. And then back here on this side is where the hand swipes were, from only about right here down. Right here. And so let's look at this area. It's not, there's a space between the back and, branches or anything. There's nothing there that would reach and scrape across that if it was, heavy with rain or something. And that's really isn't what I saw from my side vision and seeing from the periphery. It was very much solid on the other side. So that was really cool. And I'm pretty sure that one happened when I was filming that little bit. And I think I might have said that it was day 2. It's Wednesday, so that would be, today is day 3. So it's just so gorgeous up in here. And look at that little magical spot. Look at how pretty that is. It looks like it's like a doorway into some, enchanted forest inside of an enchanted forest inside of an enchanted forest inside of an enchanted forest. All right. I also want to show you this. This here is an absolutely amazing walking stick. that was gifted to me by Mr. Matthew Twilley, who lives in the bayous of Oklahoma. And when I went out there on the trip in April, he and Arla gifted me this walking stick, and it's made out of Oklahoma hickory, I think. It's really heavy, it's dense, and I now will be taking this on every one of my adventures, and this is the beginning of this walking sticks walk, and I'm really appreciative for it. So I wanted to send a shout out to my brother, Mr. Matthew Twilley. I love you, sir. All right, I am gonna head back on over to camp and let them know about all of these little hand swipes that have been a lot of fun. I'll see you in a bit. Hello. I am back over at my tent area, and I was over here earlier and I was brushing my teeth, and I was standing where I'm standing now, and I was just looking out into this area, and then there were some specific things that caught my eye, and a group of us went back in there and explored a little bit and found even more things that were interesting. So I'm going to take you on a tour and show you all the stuff that we found. Here we go. So here's the area. I'm going to pan back here so you can see how far away. So just right here, and on the right side of this path that comes through here. Back over in this area is where all those other structures were, and actually like right there is where that where that tree is that is bent and busted at a 90-degree angle. So we come over here, and on this side, well, when I first came over here, I saw this. This is very interesting to me. You know, is it natural? Is it not? Not sure. But that horizontal one at the top, right there, it doesn't have any bark. So that's an indicator that it might be glyph-ish, a glyph. But yeah, there's some interesting aspects to it. And that's right here. Then we come over here, and here's this pile of like kind branch tips with all these other ones that have, you know, they're coming off the main ones, but it's like really fluffy branch tips. So there's that. So when I was looking at this, that brought my attention up this way, where I saw these. These are twists. These old, dead trees have been twisted. So we're gonna go and check it out. So, I mean, this was, I don't know if this was done when it was alive or if it was done after it was dead. I can't tell, but come down to the base. You can see the base. Looks like the base has some damage to it too. Comes up. And then there's that. Whether it was alive or dead when that occurred still takes a ton of strength. And I would say more than, you know, than a human has for like, you know, like that diameter. I don't know. That's just my speculation. You can see how this one looks like just it's busted and at this almost perfect 90-degree angle. So it doesn't look necessarily twisted, but it does have that shape. This one does have the twist. So then over here, you've got this. This has been snapped off. And look at this one. All of the bark has been taken off of this one, coming off of this tree up to this point. Seems like there's a little bit left, but then it's also like off there. And it comes down and it goes over this one. And then inside on this one. And then, let's see, we come over here, there's some older, spider web. Well, this one is fresh. This one is a very fresh snap, right? Could this have been the one that I heard this morning when I was thinking of sleeping in, and then I heard the big snap that said get up? I don't know, but I did hear that from this direction. This is over in this area that I'm at is where I heard the snap from. So I don't know, is that the source? Also, that piece that's been snapped off is nowhere to be found. It is not here. And then here's this one, and it's older. It has moss on it, but still pretty interesting break. Snap. And man, this just keeps on going. There's a little trail back here, and it's really beautiful. There has been a really neat corroboration of stories, between David and myself. David is one of the, he's one of the alumni of the group. He's been to a lot of camps, and he has a lot of activity. And when I was up here and I was having all that, all the hand swipes, and also like that hand swipe happened when I was talking into the camera about it, and then you know, you can see my reaction and you can hear it. We went back and looked at that video and reviewed it, and yeah, like there was a hand swipe that I saw the little hand on the other side. The light from the sunlight was just so that it made for like a great like silhouette. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so when that was happening, David was up here too, and he had his own experiences. And when we put what happened to me and what happened to him together, it tells an even bigger story as to what happened. So I'm gonna get with him, and we'll get a little discussion filmed about what happened to him, and then how it correlated with the things that I was experiencing inside the tent. So it's pretty cool. It is Wednesday. Still got a good amount of time here, and I am enjoying every minute. So cool. See you soon. Good morning. It's Thursday, and there was a ton of activity around the tent last night, which is now kind of following a really cool pattern that I notice for me is that, like first night of camp, there's not a lot of activity. There's maybe not even any. And then I get a really good amount of sleep and quality of sleep. And then it just like continues to build, and a little more and a little more and a little more type of thing. Well, it built, and last night I had a lot of visitors and a lot of walking. There's a lot of walking around, especially between the front door of the tent and then the tree line with the little path that goes into the woods. So that's where a lot of the walking was. There was rain off and on, and at one time, like I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep for quite some time because there was so much Sasquatch activity outside, and again, kind of like this pattern of behavior or experiences that like I'll be trying to go to sleep and I'm on the brink, and then something will happen, and then like attention gets brought up and it's alert status. So I didn't see any lights. Or orbs or anything like that, but heavy footfall. Thump, thump, thump. And and then at one point there's a big hand swipe right here where my head is. And I was laying on my back. Just a really big hand swipe. And you could see this kind of falls in. But it was right here. And my face is like right here. So it was, and then it also kind of like pushes in when a hand swipe happens. So I think maybe that swipe was really close to my face. That's what I was getting to. So I haven't checked the pulled pork. I'll do that later and see if they got it out of the cooler. I invited them to take it if they wanted it, if they had permission. It does feel and seem like the hand swipes that were happening yesterday on the outside of the tent during the day while I was inside of the tent were juveniles. They were kids. They were playing. And I can't wait to talk to David today and get his side of the story recorded and talk about my side of the story of all the events that happened, because, man, he had no clue. And he had no clue what was going on, but he had some feelings, and then he had some personal experiences. And then because of things that I did, like it changed his behavior, but the things that I did while I was over here, like, just came to, I guess you gotta wait, and I gotta wait until David gets up and we can talk to him. But yeah, it's Thursday. It's beautiful. The rain has stopped at this point. I think maybe there's gonna be a little bit more today. But it's not gonna be like all day or anything. So that's nice. Ugh, it's 7. It's 7 o'clock. And literally, I fell asleep last night to the pitter patter of Sasquatch feet all over. Thump, 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 thump. I did go outside for a couple of seconds and did a little walk around just real quick to see if I could find any footprints, but I don't see any. Ooh. It also rained. It was, sporadically raining last night, so if there is a print outside, it would have had to have been left in really deep to survive into the morning with all the rain, but who knows? Stranger things have happened, that's for sure. See what kind of shenanigans we get into today. All I know is it's gonna be fun, because it always is. It's always fun. Let's see, did anything else happen around the campfire last night? Nope. Nothing I can think of. So, all right, I will check back in when I'm up and running, but for now, I am going to just lay here and enjoy this morning. See you soon. I love you all a lot. I love you with all my heart. I'm up. I enjoyed the bed for just about 5 more minutes. There's a lot of activity out there on this side. And I did some whistling, and there's some interesting noises out there. So, let us go explore. Walk through the portal into the enchanted forest. Go check on that pulled pork and see if the Sasquatch took it out of the cooler. Okay, here we go. So this is where all the walking was. Is that anything? Doesn't look like nothing. And this is where all the noises were happening. Right in here. It goes all the way up. Goes all the way up. And these are my favorite trees. I love this group of trees. They're so tall and majestic and beautiful, and watchers. They watch over this place. Boy, it's quiet now that I've come out here. Oh, look. There's a wormy. He's making his way to the ground. They're really cool. Oh, there's something. Okay. All right. Moment of truth. Let's see if the pulled pork is there. Ah, still there. Still there. Okay. Well, if you guys want pulled pork, you can have it. You can just open this up, and it's right there in the top. Unless you're not allowed. And if that's the case, just mind your parents. I found this too. You see this? This is busted. Right at the top there. And it's old. It's old. But it's busted. Yep. Man. It's so gorgeous. That's where the hand swipe was. Is that something? Maybe not. I don't really see any footprints around here. All right, I'm gonna go see if anyone is up and at 'em. This little guy. He's up and at 'em. So cool. All right, I'll catch you soon. It is Friday. Good morning. Guten Morgen. It is Friday. Last night, there was no activity around this tent. But, I don't want to say no because I don't know. But there wasn't anything obvious. And, might have been like a couple of strange noises that were undeterminable of their origin. But that was about it. But when I did wake up, this hillside is where it's at in the morning. So there's been a lot of really interesting sounds happening, and I just did a whistle song from Edna Vasquez for them. I think they liked it. So, a lot of people showed up yesterday. We've got a big group at this point, so a few more people are coming in today. And tonight and tomorrow are gonna be a lot of fun. So you are up to speed now, and I'm just gonna chill here for a little bit longer. For real this time. Totally for real this time. I'm not gonna get up. I'm just gonna chill. I'll see you soon. Greetings. It's about 8:30. It's the longest I've stayed in bed this whole week. I'm getting up though. I just had I think a pine cone chucked at the tent, but there's a bunch of other ones that are happening, and noises right outside the tent, and it's super fun. But it was a gentle wake up. Because I do have to get up. I gotta run into town for a little bit. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff being thrown. And snaps and things like that. If you guys want to do a really big one, you could throw something at the tent. Thank you. What'll be interesting is to see if there's even anything physical out there. Because it all sounds like it's just piling up right next to the tent. The kids know how to have fun. Hello. I am up and at 'em for the day. It's about a little bit after 8:30. I had my alarm set for 9 because I do have to get up and go into town by 10. So that was my alarm to get up. I came back over here to sleep some more this morning, and it was nice and quiet, and I fell asleep. And this was open slightly. It was open to right here, actually. And I had this corner kind of down. So I could see outside because all the trees are pretty and everything. And I fell asleep like that. And then I was woke up at like 8:27 with pine cones, green pine cones being thrown at the tent. And it was very playful, and it was like a very gentle wake up from sleep. And man, I slept hard because I thought it was only like 10 minutes or something like that, and it was not. Like, it was at least over an hour. So that was awesome. But then then I started getting up and really making the decision that I was going to get up and start getting ready at this point. And then there were like horizontal, not vertical, but horizontal, poof, very fast, and it shook the tent in such a way that like water fell on my face, and it was funny, and I started laughing. And then I got up, and there were some more that were thrown horizontal. And then if you can see this, I've got my water jugs here, and someone from the outside chucked something and just squarely hit it. Boom! And hit it real hard, and it was cool. So I started laughing about that too. So let's go outside and see what's out there. Pretty sure it's just the little green pine cones. That is the choice, the choice material to use. So let's check it out. So coming around here, got that right there, and I think we got the culprit right here. This guy. How does this have ice on it? Is that ice? No, that is sap. Yeah, this one was boom, just nailed it perfectly. So let's see, we got any more green ones? Here's a green one. Oh, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. All of this right here. All of these guys. All of these came down. And we're hitting. You can see that pattern of water too, where like the really hard one hit, and then like it made the water from that fall down. So all of that happened because one of these was chucked. So that's cool. Do we see any more? Here's another one. Man, I don't want to get that stuff on my fingers. It's sticky. All of these guys. How fun. So fun. Here's another one. Yeah, all of these were getting chucked at the tent this morning. Last night, again, it was really quiet. We also have a lot of other people here, so I don't need to be the center of attention all the time. So it was cool that that I didn't have activity, because I'm excited to see like what kind of activity was happening for other folks. But it doesn't mean that they ain't here. It doesn't mean that they aren't watching and participating. And this morning was a good reminder of that, because they were here, and they were throwing things, and they were interacting and doing all this stuff. The interaction doesn't have to just happen at night when we're in bed. I think it happens there because it's safe for everyone, especially for us who are inside the tent. There's the security blanket of nylon that helps with folks. But it's a fun way to interact, with just them on the other side. We had campers here a few years ago, and well, it's Kevin. Kevin put his hand up. He was having a conversation with an individual on the other side of the tent, and he put his hand up on the tent, and he said, "If you want to, you can touch my hand." And then the Sasquatch put his finger in between the hands, in between Kevin's hand. So like he was like, you put your, say this is the tent, and he put his hand up next to the tent, and then the Sasquatch came in and went like that in between his fingers. So he didn't go like this, but he went like that. He felt it, Man, I got sap. I got sap on my hand. So you can see where the trees are. I find it, I don't know if anything could naturally go horizontal into the tent. And this is fun. I saw this yesterday. This has been, it looks like there's a little bit of a rub spot, but at some point, this was brought over this way and then looped down behind. So, I don't think that was natural. Au naturel. I think there was help with this to move in that position. My hand is sticky. All right, I'm gonna get this day started. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for all the fun. It sure is fun. I love you guys so much. Green pine cones are being thrown at the tent. I won't have to take home all these pine cones. Because they're so fun. There was just a really big tree snap too, right before I started filming. And the biggest news is that I had a sighting. Full on sighting last night. I watched an individual move from halfway across the road down into the trees. And they were totally uniform black darkness from head to toe. And they were like human size. So I'm saying it's one of the juveniles who's throwing the pine cones right now. And then they walked into the wooded section of our area, and they didn't have a headlamp, and it was dark. And that was last night, and it was so amazing. It was amazing. Thank you. I'm really loving this pine cone. This pine cone fun. The sighting happened last night. We had gone up the road, up the mountain with our drums, and we made the coolest songs. The coolest. We jammed it out. And as we were coming back down, I went to go put the drum away. And then I kept on walking down the road, and Barb and some campers were talking. And so I went down to this certain spot of the road and just like hung out and waited for them to get done with their their conversation. And there's so many pine cones happening. So I was standing there, and I heard a noise on this side of the road, just like right inside. And it was a snap. And I looked over, and I didn't see anything. It was dusk, so it was still pretty light out. We didn't need a headlamp or anything at that time. It was still pretty light. So I heard the noise, and I looked over. And then I shifted my gaze this way. Shifted my gaze this way. And like looked down towards camp. And then when I brought my gaze back up to look at the road in front of me, that's when I saw the individual like halfway in the road and just casually walk down into our area. But he didn't have a headlamp, and he was a juvenile because he was human size. He wasn't larger, so he could have been like 14, as the size of a grown man, human. And then he just casually walked, not down the road into camp, but right next to it, where it's just wooded. And he walked down the embankment into that area, and he didn't have a headlamp. And there was no hesitation in his movement. He knew exactly how to walk through that area with very, very low light. In order to walk through that area, he would have needed a headlamp, to successfully navigate that embankment and all the trees and stuff. Like, it was fine for us being on the road, but it would have been different trying to walk through all of that. And I'll go take a video of it later today. But let's go look for pine cones. Okay, so just stepping out here. Here's a green one. Just stepping outside the tent and we find a green one right here. Look at that one. Here's another one. That one's not a green one though. Ugh, sap. Let's look over here. Oh, here's a green one. Here's a green one. Here's a green one. Have to start a new one. Was this one part of it? Maybe. Oh, did I get another one? Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Ow. I'm getting my socks wet and I'm okay with it. There's another one. Oh, did that one go behind me? Perfect aim. I love your perfect aim. Boonk. I'm gonna have to make like something crafty with all of these gifts. Okay. Thank you. This sure is fun. Where's that? Where'd it go? Bonk. Here it is. Oh my goodness, do I go up here? Bunk. Okay. All these pine cones. Pine cone game is my favorite. That's a lot of pine cones. Thank you. I don't want to film right in front of where they're at. I'll come over here. Look how pretty. It's so pretty. In here last night, there was an owl call for a good few minutes. And then it stopped, but then there was a big snap over in this direction. Owl calls were happening over here. And as our friend Lee says, there's no owls in this forest. And she knows owls. She's literally an expert on owls. And she said there are no owls in this area. So who was making the owl noises too. Like, it sounded like a human making an owl noise. Like a really good one, but yeah. It was a good night, and it was raining, so it wasn't it was raining, and there wasn't a lot of activity. Although I want to say, like, I heard stuff last night. Like, I heard a lot of metal noises, and that might have been like touching and manipulating this vehicle right here, because there's a friend who's car camping in it. So were they doing introductions to her last night? I don't know. I haven't seen her yet, so it'll be interesting to talk to her and find out what kind of interactions that she's had, or if she had any last night. I did not hear any walking around, but I can definitively say, although there was just like a lot of little noises and such around the tent. But here's another one. I was just about to say I love pinecone game. I do. I love pinecone game. All right. I'm gonna shut this off. Thanks, y'all. Greetings. It's the last day of camp, and it's been an absolute success. It's been so beautiful. It's been so healing. It's been focused on just like the most beautiful connections and communications between each other and between us and the forest people. And I haven't filmed a lot over the last couple of days just because I've been in the moment and really embracing the moment of being here, and with my friends and my human friends and my forest friends and all the forest beings. We've had all these birds flying in and just being super joyful and coming in close, and it's been great. And this is a very significant camp for me because I had my first sighting, and it wasn't just one sighting, but I got to see the hands come down and swipe on the tent twice, and then I got to see a full figure in the physical, juvenile, between 5 to 6 feet tall, on the road, and I saw him when he was about halfway in the road, and he casually, like, just kind of walked around, hands to his side. He did a circle for me so I could get a full view, and then he walked off of the road down the embankment into trees, and he was black from head to toe, monotone, same black from head to toe. And it was dusk out, so like I had a full view. Like there was no distortion of the sun, or not the sun, but like the lack of sun or anything like that. Like it was a perfect scenario. In the trees that he walked into, it was totally dark, very dark down there, and he didn't miss a step. And I say he because it looked like a male. I didn't see breasts, and he was thinner. It wasn't a big bulky older individual. I got the feeling like he was a teenager, maybe a younger teenager. So, and then when he started to walk down the embankment into the trees, that's when I realized he doesn't have a headlamp. He has no form of light to move down that embankment. And nobody else here was dressed in head to toe in black. In black hair. That wasn't an outfit that anyone chose for the camp out. So yesterday I was sitting here with my friend, and we had very specific conversations happening, and we just started getting pelted, not us, but the area, with more of more of the pine cones. So this was day one. This row was day one, and then I think this was day two. This is day two. So day two, and then the third time when I was sitting here with my friend, and all of these came down, and they came down so perfectly and with force and at an angle. It was not dropping from the treetops. These treetops right here, you know, they would go straight down, but they weren't. They were coming this way. They're coming this way. And it was so playful, and it was so fun, and we were giggling like 5-year-olds, and we did a little happy dance, and it was elation, and it was an absolute beautiful experience. I'm really, really appreciative for that interaction, for the continuing interaction, and the ways in which we get to build friendships with our forest friends. Gifts have been given, glyphs have been left, wood knocks aplenty, and a beautiful owl that came through to everyone's tents this morning. And we're spread out. Nobody's really next to each other. But that owl came around and gave hoots to everyone. He gave a hoot. Who gives a hoot? They gave a hoot. Pack up day is always, you know, it's a good day, and it's a bit of a melancholy day just because it's the end of the magical journey of the camp. But I hold these in my heart forever. Like, you know, I get to bring this back with me and move in a better way in the world that is outside of this forest. I get to bring that back, and that centeredness and that remembrance of how magical and beautiful and uplifting and good this place is that we find ourselves in, this realm of all possibility. And it can be really chaotic out in the world, and we can lose sight of the magic. And for me and this group, it's just such a blessing to be able to recenter and have just like the greatest time with them, with the Sasquatch people, and with each other, and the ways in which we get to bring conversation out and all of that. It's continuing. I get to take these lessons back out into that chaos of the world outside of this forest and integrate it in a good way with my walk in that world. So I feel very blessed and humbly grateful for having this opportunity. And it is now time to break down camp and get everything packed up. So I'm gonna go do that. I'll see you soon.
All right, hi. Camp is officially over and everybody's driving back home. That's what I'm doing too. just wanted to say real quickly, because I never got to have David explain on film what happened to him when I was having the juvenile hand swipes on the tent when I was inside, and I got to see the hands on the outside come down. And so I went over to my camp area, and it's been raining off and on, so I was inside my tent and I was pushing on all of the walls to get the water off, and he was walking up to my area, and he heard a very loud young male voice say, "Boys." And so he's looking around, and he goes over and he sees my tent. He's wondering if I'm at my campsite. And so he's looking, and he sees me inside hitting all the tent walls, and he's like, "Well, that's weird activity. Like, is that really Ashley? Like, what's going on?" And while I was in there, I had the urge out of nowhere to sing one line from a Nico Case song. And so I did. I sang out this line from Deep Red Bells. It's just the chorus line of Deep Red Bells. And I belted it out, and he was outside, and he's like, "Oh, well, I guess Ashley is in there because she just sang that line." So he walked away from that because he knew it was me inside. Well, when he walked away, that's when the young ones started hitting on the tent and hand swiping the tent and throwing the green pine cones and everything. And, you know, were there some boys who were having some fun? I think so. And that whole, you know, I didn't know that was happening until I went back down into the base camp, and I was like, "Yeah, I just had all this stuff happen." He's like, "Well, I just had all this stuff happen," and we got to correlate the stories and just paint the picture of what happened, which was beautiful. So I just wanted to do a little clarification on that. Thank you, everyone who's come to this channel and is enjoying the adventures and joining in the journey. You know, the Flash of Beauty Paranormal Bigfoot extended interview brought so many people into my circle with hearing my story, and there's been so much appreciation and support in that from everyone in the comments on YouTube and just like all of it, right? So I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me the space to be able to share this with you. And thank you for joining on the journey. And remember that this place is a beautiful, magical, loving, caring, glorious place that we get to utilize all the stuff in this world for our growth and our learning and our healing. So thank you again. And I'll see you soon. Get out into the woods, man, because it's so good. It's so good for you.